New details about the presidential race. President-elect Trump already holding a meeting at his Florida estate about his transition back to the White House.
This while Vice President Harris conceding the race and promising a peaceful transition of power.
And President Biden set to address the nation tomorrow morning about the election results. We're covering all angles tonight.
And we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger.
Well,
Josh?
Bill and Sade, he is President-elect Donald Trump once again. The former and now future president elected to a second term, but this time with a clear mandate, bolstered by millions of voters tired of inflation and high prices, some of whom abandoned the Democratic ticket to vote Trump. Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris has conceded the race. It's something Donald Trump still hasn't done after his defeat 4 years ago. But a day after he surged past Kamala Harris to retake the White House, the sitting vice president conceded after her own bruising loss.
Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results.
When Harris called the president-elect, a spokesman says Trump acknowledged Vice President Harris on her strength, professionalism, and tenacity throughout the campaign, adding both leaders agreed on the importance of unifying the country.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Last night, Trump bulldozed his way through the so-called blue wall of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin and piled up a nearly 5 million vote lead in the popular vote. He expanded his support among voters of color and men, routing 5 of the 7 so-called battleground states and taking the lead in the other 2.
We're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly.
On the trail, Trump promised to defang the Department of Justice, to mass deport migrants, and to impose tariffs on imported goods. Today at Mar-a-Lago, his team was already hard at work, drafting executive orders he might sign on day one. Tonight, Kamala Harris urged her supporters to keep fighting.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place.
After President Biden stepped aside over the summer, Vice President Harris had only 107 days to introduce herself to voters and try to distance herself from an administration with an approval rating so low, it's unclear if anyone could have overcome it. The postmortem on her campaign has only just begun. By the way, President Biden will be addressing the nation on the election results tomorrow morning from the White House Rose Garden. You can watch the ABC News special report right here on Channel 7. Sade?
Josh, thank you.